Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bachelor in Paradise Recap. It's your boy Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. We're going to get into this right now. No jump cuts, no edits, just me, you, and a week one recap and roundup of all that happened on last night's episode of Bachelor in Paradise. Do me a solid. Follow me on Instagram for stand-up show updates at DNeals. I'm also going to be live right after this at patreon.com/Dave Neal, 10 a.m. Pacific time today. All right, Jesse Palmer, welcome to the beach. First time hosting Bachelor in Paradise. And let's get right into it. We start with Hunter talking about her irritable bowel syndrome. She's about to blow up a palapa, but good for her, normalizing bowel issues. We'll have to see if the Boom Boom Room takes on a new meaning this season. As far as I'm concerned, listen, guys, this is going to be Serene's season. She's too good for Bachelor Nation. They're lucky to have her. Same thing with Brandon. They are going to be the king and queen of the season. And the court jester may be Johnny. He does a nice 1992 style, like Blink-182 kind of quality home video rap, Toes in the Sand, Bachelor in Paradise Records. Boy, don't we miss Connor at this point? We could use some more vocals there. All right, so we've got Kira showing up. The doctor questions how many trips to the Boom Boom Room she will take. That'll depend on if Hunter just got done with it. She said, take 2 of these and call me in the morning or don't. And everywhere feminists weep. Right, they're like, what are you doing? Okay, hey, no, that's feminism, being allowed to show off your let's not digress just yet. All right, so Jacob mentions he wants thick butts and thick eyebrows. Speaking of thick eyebrows, Genevieve shows up with 200 bikinis. She said she wants Justin, and now Shanae arrives and also wants Justin. So I think we see the issue that we're going to have here, a nice little Justin tug of war. But that's a man, if I've ever seen one, who can sport a nice short. Beach intros are kind of like Price is Right. They're just like, they kind of run down. They're like, you're the next contestant on Bachelor in Paradise. Woo! And everyone just kind of goes nuts and all that. All right, very good. Genevieve arrives. So when she arrives, Serene goes wild. Oh my God, they just have this moment like, oh, women love a wing woman on a beach. That's a tongue twister. Speaking about tongue twisters, that'll win you over this year. Johnny says, what more could a man want on a beach? Beautiful women and tequila. Yeah, that's it. Men are pretty simple. Beautiful women and tequila. That'll do it. There's something about tequila that just warms up the old libation, the old, Okay. The guys have to keep their cool, but they're absolutely losing their mind with every woman that arrives. This is what I love. The guys are just like talking to themselves, and they're just like hanging out, and they're like trying not to be like, oh, cool, but they're like, oh my gosh, did you see what's going on? Can you believe that we're here? This is amazing. There's just a bunch of women, and they're actually into us. Like, this is absolutely crazy. So they're just so excited. They're like, oh, nice, good weather today. Very nice. Brought some sunblock. We're gonna bang. All right, Teddy meets Andrew S. They hit it off. Michael's there. Let's see. Casey, elder millennial, shows up, which is really sad to see a geriatric millennial because he's my age. And okay, guys, Teddy meets Andrew. They hit it off. Casey arrives. We got that. Sierra shows up with tequila shots for Jesse. Look, that's how you grease up the host. That's exactly how it's done right there. Jacob arrives with a banana leaf. We already covered that. The men nicknamed the resort Clayton's Island because there are so many girls from Clayton season. Yeah. Speaking of, Shanae arrives, so we get her. The men love Shanae. Genevieve warns everybody about her. We know how that's going to go down. But look, I feel like, hey, Shanae's beautiful. She's got a good sense of humor. Taking aside the issues she had with the other women, these men don't care that she fought with other women. I'm sorry. They could care less. The idea, like the way men see red flags is we're colorblind. And again, say what you will about men to clump them all together, I don't think they care if she fought with other women. All right. We'll have to see how that goes, though. Justin, one of my favorites, arrives. We love Justin. Genevieve says he's funny, he's goofy, and he has a sensitive side. Ladies, watch out. Genevieve says after she talks to him, it's going to either be a no or I'm in trouble. And trouble means boom boom room. Let me tell you something. We've said it over and over again. When a girl says I'm in trouble, that means she's looking to bang. That's all that means. Is no one's ever like, oh, I'm in trouble, and then you're like, what's wrong? Oh, I got a cavity. No, it's never that. It's like, I'm in trouble. What's wrong? That guy's hot, and I want him now. And I said I wasn't gonna bang any more guys this summer because I did hot girl summer a little early. You ever have the hot girl summer, and it's like it's not even July 4th, Tracy. Come on, chill out. How about lukewarm girl summer? And you're like, well, I'm just going to do me. And it's like, you're going to do a lot of things. I'll tell you that. All right, do what you want to do is what I say. Be trouble. I'm a trouble power recapper. That's what I am. You want power what do you think of Dave's recaps? Are they technically perfect? No, they're not, but he's trouble. All right, folks, hit the like button if you enjoy some trouble. Justin says, pears are super underrated. Genevieve says she doesn't like pears. Look, pears can be messy. I can understand. Pears aren't the type of food you just grab for the car ride. You know, you need to eat a pear like a savage leaning over your sink, because for some reason, pears are like the water balloons of nature. You just take a bite into them and it just, makes you more wet than Justin when he, hits on you. I don't know. Okay. Logan arrives. He's recovered from COVID. We'll get to Lace in a second. Where's Logan? I don't know where he is. We'll find him. Brandon arrives, immediately pulls Serene aside. Next thing you know, he says, you got those big kiss me eyes. Serene giggles. Boom. Get me Neal Lane already. They did their homework. They were into each other. They knew they'd make beautiful children. They're just ready to go. I've never seen a couple so primed. It's just like, from the starting gates, they knew they were going to be into each other, and then they delivered. You know, sometimes like, I think I might like someone, and then you don't realize their eye leans a certain way, or they got a weird disposition, or they voted a different direction. And then, no, not in this case. They immediately are like, this is the one. All right, so Jill hangs out with Romeo. I'm out of breath right now. Jill, by the way, here's Logan just looking at the camera like, can you believe we got away with last season, and I'm not even, a villain? Which, by the way, does take it does take skill that they tried to make Logan out to be a bad guy last season, and he pretty much shrugged it off. He's not a bad guy. He seems like a nice guy, even when he gets people's names wrong. We'll get to that in a second. So Jill hangs out with Romeo. Then Kira, the doctor, comes in to check on Romeo. So Kira jacked Jill's guy. Did you see what I did there? That's a little Jack and Jill reference. And then Kira fell down the hill and did not fetch a pail of water. Michael A. and Brittany are hanging out. Okay, Michael A. Michael A. Hanging out with Brittany. Michael A. and Brittany gonna get freak A. That's trouble. Brittany calls Michael sweet. And it's like, okay, is she saying sweet like you could be my uncle sweet? Or is it like, he's sweet, ravage me? You know, I don't know which one it is. It's a very delicate line between uncle sweet and ravage me sweet. Why do I have to say my poor neighbors? I'll just 7 a.m. like, ravage me. Okay. The coffee's hitting. Haley says Michael A. went from wholesome dad to zaddy. Yeah, this is the world we live in. We come on the show so you can go from wholesome to zaddy, from A to zaddy. Teddy and Andrew have their first date. Of course, there's no contracting HPV when you're in a vat of tequila. You know what I mean? It's like, you want a yeast infection? You ain't going to get one when you're a vat of tequila. That is about as, I don't know, you might burn a little bit, but don't we all? All right, is this a best of 2022 video? I think we might be onto something right now. Teddy says Andrew seems like he's playing it cool, but it's a nervous wreck. And I thought the same thing. I was like, Andrew's kind of like trying to play it, and I totally get it. The cameras are on, you're nervous, and he goes, yeah, you're right, I'm a nervous wreck. So she calls him out, and then he goes, you're right. And I think that's very adorable for him to be like, yeah, there's no better way to break the tension than to just be honest. I always say this on stage. If you're bombing or if something weird happens in the room, if you just label the environment, it just dissipates everything. Sunlight's the greatest disinfectant, right? The second greatest disinfectant is a vat of tequila. All right, folks. Justin and Genevieve are hitting it off. Let's go to them. By the way, look, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or pat my own back, but we're doing all this live. So for all the quacks out there that spend 7 hours editing, do it live, baby. No one cares. Justin and Genevieve hitting it off. Genevieve says Justin is a good kisser. She says she's picky about kissers, but calls it perfect. Okay, Justin. All right. Then they went to smooch in the hot tub. Nothing beats a hot tub makeout session. Nothing. You're getting older. Your muscles are wearing down. You got some nice jets poking you in different directions. You're kissing. You're lubed up. It's a good time. Johnny and Hunter hang out. Michael and Sierra. And now Brandon and Serene. The king and queen, Brandon and Serene of the beach. Lace says that this cast is the most boring of the season. She says, how am I not being pursued? And it's like, is that a rhetorical question, or do you want me to dive into it, Lace? Shanae climbs up to the bunk bed to hang out with Lace. Lace says everyone avoided her, so Lace is having a gigantic pity party. She's making Shanae look like a peacekeeper. You're like sort of having a pity party when Shanae becomes the voice of reason. When Shanae's like, listen, let bygones be bygones. Let's get down there and have fun. You're like, Lace, come on, step it up. The villain feels bad for you. Lace does birthday shots. She fakes her birthday celebration. And I'm like, look, that's okay. Do what you got to do. Fake your birthday celebration. I'm okay with that. If that's what gets you to the next level, I mean, just fake your birthday. Say that your parents' anniversary happened. Whatever you need to do. Lace tells Logan she wants to celebrate her birthday with him. Logan tells her he's only 26, and she says, "I gotta go." And he says, "Sorry to blow it." And he's like, "Ooh, dodged a bullet. Sorry to blow it." Logan calls Lace loose, which I think he meant like Lucy, Luce, but I heard it as loose, like sort of a derogatory term from the 30s. Oh, you see that dame over there? She's a real loose. I don't know. Is that how people talked? Anyway, loose with my morals as I watch this show. He apologizes, and look, this is why pet names exist, so you don't get the name wrong. This is why you call someone Sweetie, because you don't know if her name's Jennifer or Jessica, and you're trying to find out. You're like, hey, do you have one of those new California driver's license? And she's like, why? He's like, I'd love to see if you have the new license. And then she pulls it out and you're like, it's Jessica. Okay. All right. Meanwhile, Jill and Romeo hook up, and then Kira swoops in again. Kira's doing house calls. Dr. Kira. Romeo tells Kira that he and Jill are connecting romantically. Romeo says he doesn't want his friendship with Kira to get in the way, so he throws Kira in the friend zone. It's always fun to see when a guy throws a lady into the friend zone, because it just doesn't always happen that way, I feel like. And I'll get people from comments saying, this happens all the time, whatever. It's just fun to watch, because it's like she's going in there with like the divine female energy, and he's like, you're doing too much. And she's like, what are you talking about? Romeo asks Kira to let him pursue Jill in peace. Yeah, that's a burn. It's like, look, I'm going to pursue Jill, but I'm just going to ask that you stop cock blocking me. So she agrees, and then moments later, she starts a fight with, she's like, look, if you don't want me to get in the way with Jill, no big deal. And then she starts a fight with Jill. She says, I'm not here to make good decisions. And it's like, we got the note. Kira calls Romeo a little boy. Kira needs a man. She says those were her shackles, and now they're off. Then Kira starts smooching on Casey. And Casey's like, look, I'm a geriatric millennial. I'll take what I can get. A little nipple rubbing. The boys find out the next morning. Look, the boys always find out the next morning. There's nothing better than the boys the next morning finding out something weird went down. What did she do to your toes? Oh, hey, Timmy! It's always... ladies have brunch, guys have it too, you know what I mean? Casey heard there was a nip grip. Okay, we had the nip grip, the old... Genevieve says she feels 11 out of 10 after hanging with Justin. Hey, that's what you want in the old scoring system, an 11 out of 10. And then Victoria Fuller shows up and says, no one is more surprised that she's there than her. I mean, look, she can totally survive not being attached to this show, but it's not also bad for the brand. She's one of the biggest, like, villain, controversial characters. Not necessarily a bad person, but she's kind of like a closer, in baseball. The closer who can throw really fast, but also might hit someone in the head every once in a while. So, like, she's got the heat, baby. She's got fastball down the middle, but she might knock you out if she gets a little wild. We'll have to see how it all plays out this season of The Bachelorette. We got a lot coming your way. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals, patreon.com/Dave Neal for behind-the-scenes content, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, everybody.